Hello, everyone. Today, I will be analyzing two infographics regarding the effects of sleep deprivation. The information, structural design, and target audiences can vary for the thousands of infographics out there about this topic. However, I found the two best infographics that I could and will deeply analyze both of them. To begin with, this infographic has been done extremely well. It contains a warm blue background with organized clouds containing lots of information. It has a very large title at the top and introduces images of the moon, stars, and animals in order to help keep a calm mood. When analyzing the information, this infographic focuses on many of the physical and mental health aspects of sleep deprivation. For example, things like diabetes, mood disorders, and weight change are problems discussed throughout this infographic. One of my favorite things about this infographic is how straightforward and easy it is to understand for adults. Any grown adult or older teen can read and understand this without having any sort of medical background. Additionally, the structure of the infographic itself is efficient. As each cloud is labeled with numbers 1 through 7, the audience can seamlessly read information from left to right without having to stop and question themselves, which in turn increases the chance of the audience's ability to understand an infographic thoroughly. Another strength of this infographic resides in both of the diagrams at the bottom. According to an article published by the MILNE Library, it states one study found that humans process visual images several thousand times faster than text, while other research has shown that information conveyed with images is more intuitively understood and better recalled. That being said, the authors of this infographic were able to combine visual images with bits of information, forming a diagram that is not only easy to understand, but also memorable for the audience. As it has been proven, visual aids are best at communicating information effectively and efficiently. By creating two diagrams with this strategy, the authors are actively targeting older teens and adults by setting a calm mood using simple yet detailed language and presenting a unique structural design. On the other hand, this infographic is much different. It has a dark background with the silhouette of a human body in the middle. Each organ or body part contains a label and description of how sleep deprivation affects it. This layout is a bit more mature compared to the last infographic, implying the target of an older audience. Additionally, this infographic uses a unique structure of information as well. Rather than having all the information listed and an unlabeled image of a human body next to it, the authors decided to combine both by highlighting cognitive effects of sleep near the brain, weight effects near the stomach, motion effects near the legs, and much more. The authors were able to form a structure of information that helps the audiences understand the infographic in multiple ways. Whether it's looking at the labels and or body parts, having both a visualization and physical label helps convey information to the audience more efficiently. According to an article done by Tableau, it states good visualization allow people to gain insight from complex data at a glance. Referring back to the infographic, it contains complex vocabulary like neurotransmitters and anticipatory reactions, which do signify the targeting of an older audience, but also the need for visual aids in order to complete the transaction of understanding between the infographic and reader. Moving on, towards the bottom of the infographic resides even more visualizations with tiny bits of information. Similar to the structure of the first infographic, the authors decided to incorporate small visuals with information so the audience has an easier time understanding those concepts, as it has been proven again and again that visualizations are effective when conveying information quickly. Ultimately, by building a structure in which the human body became a detailed yet visual diagram containing specific facts and information regarding the effects of sleep deprivation, the authors will seamlessly be able to transmit information from the infographic to the reader. Moving on to the infographic that I created. Now, both of those infographics were very well put together, even while having minor flaws. The first infographic was calming and organized, while the second infographic was more scientific and mature. Although the first one targeted audiences aging from older teens to young adults, the second one mainly targeted grown adults. Therefore, when making my own infographic, I felt there was an age group that was completely left out of both of these infographics. Specifically, children who are not teenagers yet, but still face the negative effects of sleep deprivation. The first change I made was using a more dark blue as the background to continue having a calm mood, especially when talking about a topic like sleep. Next, I made sure to include a number of visuals similar to the two infographics I compared. Towards the top of the infographic, I added a yellow moon and stars, which contrasted nicely with the Dark blue background. However, I knew that I would have to add extra detail in order to make this infographic more child friendly. Therefore, with my creative thinking, I had incorporated a cartoony boy sleeping with the stars. Additionally, I made sure to add small visuals to each box that related to the information it contained. That being said, all of these visual strategies help contribute to a more young and premature audience. Another major change I made was the vocabulary being used within the information. After critically thinking about it, using advanced language and facts makes no sense when trying to communicate with children. As a result, I use straightforward and simplistic language that would be easy to understand for them. Ultimately, to create this infographic, I used critical thinking by analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of both original infographics. After critically evaluating their visuals, colors, audiences, and much more, I understood what parts I could incorporate into my own infographic to target an audience that had been left out. Then, by using creative thinking, I imagined an infographic with a sleepy and calm mood that would still be engaging enough for kids. Subsequently, I came up with creative, simple, and effective explanations to go under each topic. According to an article done by the MDPI organization, the author stated creativity is defined as the faculty of creating, or the capacity for creation. This highlights how the power of critical and creative thinking is endless. It just depends on your capacity to utilize it. Therefore, these processes allowed me to successfully create an infographic that targeted an audience left out from the original infographics while still maintaining excellent accuracy and engagement. Overall, applying these concepts of critical and creative thinking was not easy. However, being able to analyze, assess, and utilize the strategies used in other infographics in order to make mine the best it can be was very beneficial. In the end, this process significantly advanced my ability to think effectively at a critical and creative level. Thank you.